the coxal bones. There are two coxal bones that articulate at the pubic symphysis. The pubic symphysis is the strongest type of cartilage known as fibrocartilage. Each individual coxal bone is made up of 3 individual bones identified by the colors here. The bones do not disarticulate with one another. The landmark that gives us these 3 bones is made at the acetabulum. As you can see, the lateral aspect of the acetabulum, there can be a T made to give us the differentiation of the ischium, which is the posterior inferior part of the coxal bone, the pubic bone, which is the anterior inferior part, and the entire ilium, which is the superior part of the coxal bone. On your exam, you will need to identify the differences between the male and female pelvis. Here on this particular slide, we recognize that the female pelvis has an enlarged pelvic outlet, a broader pubic angle, and there is less curve in the sacrum. It is more circular. The sacrum is more circular. In order to identify, we have a chart that is located in our OpenStax textbook. I will share this chart with you. Please study this chart as you'll be asked to match different characteristics of the male pelvis with characteristics of the female pelvis to correctly match them. I'm going to share this with you. This can be located in the OpenStax textbook link in your Blackboard folder. Please know this chart. The difference between pelvic weight. The female pelvis bones are lighter and thinner, while the males are thicker and heavier. The pelvic inlet shape. The female pelvis has a round or oval shape. The pelvic inlet of the male is heart-shaped. The female has a lesser pelvic cavity and is shorter and wider. The lesser pelvic cavity of the male is longer and narrower. The subpubic angle of the female is greater than 80 degrees, and the subpubic angle of the male is less than 70 degrees. The pelvic outlet shape of the female is rounded and larger. The pelvic outlet shape of the male is smaller. These differences allow for the female to have childbirth, as during the 3rd trimester, hormones attribute to the lengthening of tendons and ligaments to allow for the female pelvis to actually separate and allow for the birth canal